Yo, and hello and welcome to the 156th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go up for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning high definition, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter to never miss an episode and buy sick t-shirts and hats and everything else from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Jafra, alongside Brent. He is the Brent Bass. Yes, I had no idea where I was going to go with that.
I like that. I like the little Mickey Mouse moment you threw in there during the intro. That was slick.
Did I do that? No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe I'm just imagining.
The high definition.
Yeah.
Yeah, high definition is one of those things that's very important in 2020. You know.
Yes, high definition.
Yeah, you know.
4K. 1K, 8K,
all the Ks,
except
for 3s. We're gonna skip right over 3K. We went
3's unlucky.
Yeah, that and it's racist. You know,
it is racist too.
We had to jump straight into 4K. Yeah. But yeah, so what's been up this week, Brent? What you been up to?
Oh man, I've had a very eventful week, especially when it comes to gaming.
Good thing this is a gaming podcast.
Yeah. No, I got my computer, finally. It's happened. Came in the mail at the beginning of the week, a little earlier than I expected, you know?
Is it as dope as you expected?
It's as dope as I expected.
Hell yeah. That's all that matters.
It's really good. It needs more storage space, though, because I didn't realize that computer games were even bigger than, like...
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, I realized it, but I didn't, like... I didn't really like one of the games I'm looking at right now is this VR game called Asgard's Wrath, and it's 165 gigabytes to download.
Not enough, dude.
I have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, dog.
Holy shit.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
For your computer?
Yeah.
Nah.
So I've got this like beast of a computer, and I can like I'm like basically just like uninstalling games and like reinstalling games. So I need to get another hard drive. The good news is the hard drive I do have is at least a solid state drive, so my load times are pretty slick, you know what I mean?
Can you swap out a solid state drive?
I think I can. I could also add another one like internally if I wanted to, but I think for the sake of like just easiness, I'm probably just going to order like a plug and play one from like, you know what I mean? Just something I can
get you
in.
Like a 4 billion terabyte.
That's what I'm thinking. At least 1 or 2 terabytes, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What comes after the tera?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to get like 100 terabytes, right? Before it, or no?
I don't know.
How many gigabytes is in a terabyte? No, not 100, 1,000. So you need 1,000 terabytes before you have like a
flip-a-flop. Who knows?
Quadrabyte or something.
I'm sure that there's an actual term for it, and we just sound really dumb. But we're not PC people, you know?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot of this stuff on the fly, but dude, it's fucking seriously crazy. Like, this isn't even part of my, like, you know, games that I've been playing or anything, but I've been playing a lot of, like, just demos and shit on the computer just to, like...
In VR?
Well, no, just, like, in general.
Oh,
you know?
okay,
Just to, like, see what it can do, you know? And fucking, dude, like, I tried a Shadow of the Tomb Raider demo the other day with, like, the RTX fucking ray tracing turned on, and it was, like, 90 frames per second and shit. Like,
it's beautiful.
It was fucking incredible. And I'm, like, hooked up to, like, a shitty fucking HD TV. I don't even have, like, a real computer monitor to play it with yet. Like,
nice.
So, I'm just looking to get, like, a fucking dope-ass, like, 144 hertz refresh rate fucking monitor at some point, but...
Curve screen.
Dude, I'm getting there. I'm at the point, dude.
Now you got to get like the keyboard that like lights up and stuff. Like you're on your way to the master.
Oh, my keyboard does light up.
Wow.
It came with a light up keyboard and mouse.
You're already there then.
I actually kind of got the fucking hookup, dude. Like it came, I didn't realize it had a keyboard and mouse with it. So like I got the fucking computer, which I was already satisfied with. It got a really good deal on it. And I started pulling it out of the box and it's like, oh, I've got this sick ass fucking clickety clackety keyboard and like a mouse. I'm such a noob. Like all this shit is cool to me. If it like lights up and it works, like I'm cool with it.
Is it a mechanical keyboard?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a keyboard. It works. You know, it does. It lights up and it works. That's all that I know.
That's
really.
all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Man, I'm having so much fun with it. And most of the time, to be honest with you, I'm so used to playing with an Xbox controller that I just like Bluetooth my Xbox controller to the computer, which is super simple, by the way. And like fucking, I just sit there and play with my Xbox controller most of the time. You know?
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, this week I watched that new movie that just came out on Netflix, Spencer, whatever.
The one with Mark Wahlberg and like Post Malone.
Yeah,
wasn't there a UFC fighter in that movie?
I'm pretty sure he's a UFC fighter. Like he had to have been, but like the I guess co-star or like his roommate that like. It's a good movie. It's just really good. The dynamic between
it's
Mark
like number
Wahlberg,
one on Netflix right now. So.
Yeah, definitely. Post Malone is the worst actor in the world in the movie.
Sure.
But
did we expect anything?
No, and he's only in it for like a small amount of time. But the rest of the characters are really good. The rest of the acting is great. And it's just a good story. Like it's super unbelievable, but like it's just fun. I'm
okay with that. Some of my favorite movies are super unbelievable. You know, like Crank or stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like Crank, but it is like Crank. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's not serious.
Yeah, but
it is serious.
I think sometimes like action movie developers, especially not developers, directors. I'm thinking video games, especially try to like make their movies too serious. Sometimes, you know, I feel like in the action movie genre, especially, you just kind of gotta like.
Just gotta let it be. Yeah, just, have some fun with it.
Is it an action movie, or is it supposed to be like a comedy? I don't really understand. Is it like it's like Rush Hour kind of, or something? Like
kind of, I guess. Like, it's more like, it's darker than Rush Hour, I would say. It's, I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what this movie is.
I'm gonna probably watch it, you know what I mean, at some point.
Yeah, it's about Mark Wahlberg, who was a police officer. At the beginning, you just kind of see him beat the shit out of this, like, other cop, and he has to do 5 years in prison for assault on a police officer, and like you don't really know why he beat up the cop who was like above him or whatever, and then he gets out and he goes to this guy's like place. This guy's like Bernie, basically, like literally, like I feel like they just got Bernie to play this character, but So
Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, Bernie Sanders. And so he's like living at this dude's place, and he's like, "You told me I was going to have my own room." And and he didn't have his own room. It's with the big black guy who's a UFC fighter, I'm guessing, in real life. But and so they start off like they don't like each other, but then they slowly become, like a dynamic duo, and then they pull some Batman Vengeance style stuff. Like he was supposed to go get a job as like a truck driver.
Don't spoil it. I'm about to watch it.
Or so like he's just supposed to be getting his life back together, but he ends up like trying to solve like this case, like.
Oh, I like that. So you said he's an ex-cop.
He's an ex-cop with nothing to lose.
Oh, I like that, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And he like fights Post Malone at the beginning, so
dude, nothing better than that. Does he beat up Post Malone?
He does beat up Post Malone.
Oh, cool.
But Post Malone,
not like I dislike Post Malone really or anything. Like I something about that just sounds really satisfying.
It's intriguing.
Yeah.
It's exciting. But yeah, so that's something I did this week. I can't think of anything special. Just dealing with neighbor bullshit. The Chronicles of Jamel.
Man, you should tell the people about this.
Oh, we just have like this creeper guy who just like stares up into our like balcony door, like because he claims it's because my dog barks at him, but he's done it before at like 11 p.m. at night, where he'll just stare up. And the only reason I knew he was staring up and looking is because my dog's like fur, or like his hair was standing on end on his back, and I'm like, what is he looking at? And so I get up and I sneak over to the little door, and I like look out through the blinds, like just a little bit, and he's just standing down there looking straight up into the window at my dog. And so like this guy has just been causing issues, like after I confronted him, after I told him I was going to call the police, he called the police on me on my dog, and like got animal control called and said like my dog was barking or whatever. And they ended up saying like, yeah, your dog wasn't barking when we came out there. So, that's all, like, it's all good. But, this guy can make complaints like that, and we have to go check, So, like, she was like, just get all the evidence you can that, he's not being truthful. So I went and bought like a camera, and I got it like, pointed out down there. So whenever he just stands there and looks up into my window and stuff, I'm going to take that shit to the police. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's terrifying. And just so you guys know, if Jamel ends up serial killed,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Know who did it.
We know who did it.
It's the guy who looks like a turtle who lives underneath my apartments.
Underneath the whole building. He just crawls out of a dirt molehill.
Yeah, he looks like a serial killer. So whenever you see him, it's not really hard to identify. Like when you see him, you'll be like, wow, he looks like a serial killer. So yeah, it'll be easy, just look for him and hopefully get him in trouble and keep my dog alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Man, that's terrifying, dude. I don't like that.
Yeah, me either. I think he has a crush on my dog, and he just likes filming him, so it's freaking me out. But anyways, yeah, so that was my week.
I think he wants to wear your skin.
It won't happen. I will wear his first. I don't care if I have to go to prison.
You're just like, the cops show up, and you're just like wearing his skin. He was going to do it to me. I know it.
I could tell from the way he tasted. No, I'm just kidding. No threat to his skin or anything.
Yeah,
but
he can keep his skin.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't touch my skin. But anyways, you got anything else that you did this week?
Not much. No, I worked a lot.
Yeah, same. Well, let's jump into the video game news. Just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the news articles as our own. We're simply giving commentary and bringing you all of it in one place. Let's start it off with Jordan Ramey at GameSpot saying, with GDC 2020 postponed, several companies and developers are sharing what they had planned for the conference via alternative means. One such company is Microsoft, which is hosting 2 days of Mixer live streams called GameStack Live to share its GDC panels and announcements, including a talk seemingly designed to provide further details about Xbox Series X. On the second day of live streams, March 18th, Microsoft will hold a panel for Xbox Series X and Project xCloud at 11:40 a.m. PT. The segment will be devoted to talking about the new chapter of gaming. Just before that, at 10:40 a.m. PT, Microsoft will talk about how online services are defining the next generation of gaming, which could possibly offer insight into Xbox Series X as well. Throughout both days, Microsoft will also talk about other aspects of game development. On March 17th at 10:45 a.m. PT and 11:35 a.m. PT, the company will be discussing accessibility and inclusivity. Talks for Gears 5 and Sea of Thieves will occur on March 17th as well, while one for Wasteland 3 will take place on March 18th.
What are they going to talk about? Like Gears 5 and fucking Wasteland?
Yeah, that sounds horrible. I have a feeling that we're not going to see much at GDC. I think maybe for the E3 stuff that they were going to do, or that they are going to do technically, because E3 is still happening at this point. We'll get into that later. But anyways,
I think the Xbox Series X panel they talked about will probably be interesting. I think we'll probably learn some fun things.
Maybe. I feel like they're not going to come with anything good at this point.
I just want to know like the actual like hardware, like the specs. We
already got all that.
Do we have it like all of it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
We have everything. We got the flops. We got the frame rate.
Okay. Well, then that's all I care about, really. What? All I need to know now is what kind of games you're gonna give me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think this is just going to be them talking more about xCloud and Game Pass than they are talking about the Series X.
xCloud interests me for sure. I want to see what they're gonna do with that.
For sure.
Is it going to stay called xCloud? Are they going to implement it in some different way? I really think xCloud and Game Pass should somehow like morph into one thing.
GameCloud.
GameCloud, yeah.
Or xCloud.
Yeah.
Wait, it is called xCloud.
I don't know. I feel like if you have Game Pass and somehow you had access to stream all of those games through xCloud, I think that would be sick as fuck,
Yeah, they should just put it together and call it Pass X.
Oh, dude, I would love that. Pass X.
Or
Game Pass X.
Ooh. Or a Game Pass Cloud. Or let's just keep mixing all these words.
XXX Game XXX Pass.
Cloud _ hashtag
/ Game Pass
187. I'm just kidding.
I like it.
Anyways, what you got over there?
Following Black Ops 4's Battle Royale mode, Blackout, Activision is going much bigger in the Battle Royale space with a standalone free-to-play Call of Duty Warzone that supports 150 players and doesn't require you to buy anything to play it. The game will be available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC beginning today. Well, actually yesterday, if you're listening to this, on the day it came out. March 10th. Activision is surprise releasing it, much like EA did with Apex Legends last year. It's not a complete surprise, however, as the opening cinematic for Modern Warfare Season 2 strongly hinted at a new Battle Royale mode, and numerous leaks have emerged in recent weeks.
For sure.
The latest was an actual gameplay video, and you can check that out. Anyways, I'm kind of excited about this. You guys get the point, but you might want to start downloading it now because it's like, if you don't have Call of Duty, which I don't, unfortunately, it's like an 80 gigabyte download.
Yeah, it's like 120.
Oh,
something.
is it?
Yeah, it's like over 100 gigs.
Here, it says it right here. It says taking up between 83 and 101 gigs.
Oh, okay, 101. My bad.
So I think 101 is probably on the high end, like if you're playing on PC or something. I'm sure like the original Xbox and original PS4 version
be in the 80s.
Probably be in the 80s. Either way, it's a big ass download, like bigger than fucking like Red Dead Redemption. So you might as well go ahead and start it up because it's going to take all day.
Yeah, but if you have the game, it's only like 60 or something.
Oh, yeah, if you have the game,
or 20
it's
something.
between 18 and 22 gigs.
Yeah.
So not as hefty of a
nowhere
download.
near. Yeah,
I'm still really excited to get to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare in some capacity without having to shell out $60. You know what I mean?
Are you downloading it right now?
No, I didn't think about it before I left my house. I should have.
Nice. We got Steve Watts at GameSpot. He says the video game retailer GameStop has hired former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aime to its board of directors, or Fils-Aime, sorry. He'll join the board effective April 20th, 2020, amid several other board moves, including retirements and 2 new additions. The GameStop biography on Fils-Aime as a new board member mentions his long tenure at Nintendo from 2003 to 2019, with a portfolio that included work on the Nintendo DS, Wii, 3DS, and Switch. The Wii U goes curiously unmentioned. It also points out that he previously worked at VH1, Pizza Hut, Procter & Gamble, and others. He'll serve as a member of the nominating and corporate governance of our committee. Fils-Aime was a well-known figure in the game industry, especially for his larger-than-life persona at fan-facing events. When he retired from Nintendo, it appeared to be a departure from the games industry altogether, and he's since been teaching at Cornell University. He's still active in the community, though, regularly sharing insights from his time at Nintendo, occasionally cracking jokes about his tenure. He was succeeded by Doug Bowser. Joining him will be William Simon, a former Walmart executive, and James Simonchik, the current president and CEO of PetSmart. Serving on a board of directors tends to be an advisory role rather than a full-time position.
Bro, this sounds like the dream team, dude. They got the financial guys over there. They got Reggie over here who knows like
how to be funny and like be the lead.
But in market video games, you know what I mean? That's the thing. That's what we need is like somebody who understands the video game culture. You know what I mean?
But I'm also like, this is like Reggie Fils-Aime. Like, this is just him, like, doing a hobby. He's...
Yeah, this is fun for him.
Yeah, he's not, like, coming on here like, oh, I need this job.
But that also kind of makes me a little more, like, interested in the whole concept because it's like I feel like he's probably going to put a little bit more effort into it because it's something he's just doing because he seems interested in it.
It's a passion project for him because, like, as they said, he works at Cornell University. He retired from Nintendo. He is set. He is good.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like he's got to worry about it. He's
still getting checks from Nintendo.
Yeah. and that's the thing. Like, and he could always just go and be a consultant or give talks and all this stuff. He's set for life. And so this is him, just doing something that he wants to do, which makes it really interesting. Like you said, this is some philanthropy type shit is what I said. Like he's like, all right, I'll help you guys out. We'll see what we can do.
It'll be cool if these guys can come up with some kind of like real business model that could save GameStop. I think GameStop needs to move into the digital space, like Netflix did. Netflix adapted from physical to digital and survived, and now is one of the most like thriving companies in the world, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know.
Either that or they're just going to put big Joy-Cons on the side of GameStops. Like, thanks, Reggie. This is what we needed.
Dude, yeah. Oh, okay.
Anyways, what you got?
Call of Duty's newest battle royale, Warzone, is launching. It's launched.
Yeah,
it's already launched. But if you're playing on PlayStation, you can get a free Call of Duty Warzone Combat Pack from the PlayStation Store. That's all PlayStation had to say on the matter, but you can download it and find out. So free shit if you're on PlayStation.
Exclusive content.
Exclusive.
Gabe Gerwin at GameSpot says Nintendo and Lego are teasing a collaboration that will turn Mario into a plastic figure, but it's unclear if that means a new line of toys, a new game, or both. And the collaboration is the first time Nintendo and Lego have ever worked together.
Bro.
Despite Traveler's Tales releasing Lego games on its platform for years, British retailer Game noted that it was announced via a Nintendo Direct presentation, but that has not happened, and the reference was later removed from the page. Either Game jumped the gun on, or Nintendo changed its plans, but we don't know exactly what's in store for Mario and Lego.
I would fuck with a Lego Mario game so hard, dude. Like, dude. Just like Lego Star Wars or something.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that would be so tight.
Just the look of it. I would just own it just to have like that, like aesthetic in a game.
Like a Lego Mushroom Kingdom that and like 4 friends can romp through together, like in the same style as the normal Lego games. Like that would be so sick, dude. It would play like that one Mario game or the 3D world that's like multiplayer with kind of a top-down perspective. I could see it being like that, but like with Legos.
With Legos. Yeah. But see, I wouldn't mind if they were doing like actual Lego sets. I would actually go out and buy that because
that would be cool too, for sure.
Nintendo has only worked with like Mega Bloks, and it's like so shitty.
What? Mega Bloks? What were they thinking?
Yeah, it was just real shitty stuff. Like there's Pokemon Mega Bloks, and they're all like, it's just like, if this was Lego, I would fucking own the shit out of it.
Bro, Lego Pokemon Snap, dude. Like,
oh, dude, it'd be so beautiful.
That would be sick.
But yeah, so let's see what happens with this. I'm excited.
So many possibilities if they join forces, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm a Lego maniac, if you know me.
So the Black Mesa game has finally come out. The remake of HalfLife that has been in early access since like 2016 or some shit like that is finally out. So, if you're interested in playing like a remake of the original Half-Life, then check it out.
I am. I'm very interested. Eddie McCooch at GameSpot says, in a big shakeup for the world of sports video games, 2K Games has announced a partnership with the NFL to make football video games, giving EA Sports and the Madden series a new challenger. However, don't expect this to be the return of the NFL 2K franchise as you remember it. The multi-year deal will see 2K Sports creating non-simulation football games, which is a key detail to note. EA Sports Madden NFL series is a simulation-based franchise, and those games will continue to be made alongside the new ones from 2K. 2K is not sharing any details on the specific games, who is making them, or when they will release, apart from confirming that the first of these will launch in calendar year 2021.
Blitz.
That's what I'm thinking. It wouldn't be Blitz because it's, EA or
Bro,
whatever.
Even if if it's just like kind of like Blitz?
Yeah.
That would be sick.
So it says all of the titles are in early development right now, 2K said. 2K's president David Ismailer said the company is thrilled to be back in business with the NFL. He also teased some details about what to expect from 2K's NFL offerings. They will include multiple titles that are centered on fun, approachable, and social experiences. It's unclear if these titles are coming to console/PC or mobile, or potentially both.
Bro, this sounds a lot like Blitz, man.
Yeah, it really it
like
sounds,
everything they're saying, like Blitz would just fit right in that fucking category, you know?
It just reminds
Who
me
has
of the old
rights to that?
Midway Sports. Yeah,
Okay.
like the old Midway Sports games were amazing. You know, Slugfest, you know, fucking Blitz.
Somebody needs to make something in the spirit of those games, you know? Because we haven't had something great like that in a long time. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not.
Okay, let's see. I won't read the whole article, but Division 2's recent update has made it to where you can pet the dogs finally. Division was responsible for like a big Twitter campaign where it was like, why can't you pet the dogs in Division 2? So they've righted their wrong, and you guys can all lay off of the Division 2 because now you can pet your pooch.
Now the game's worth playing.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. James O'Connor at GameSpot says the Mario movie currently in the works at Illumination is still a while away, as it's due to release in 2022. Nintendo has been protective of its characters following 1993's disastrous live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie, which was an enormous flop that has since achieved cult status. Now, in a new interview, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto has opened up about why Nintendo has partnered with Illumination, Despicable Me and the Minions, for their upcoming animated film. Shigeru Miyamoto, who is signed on to produce the new movie, spoke to Famitsu about the movie, and a portion of their discussion was translated by Nintendo Everything. In the interview, Miyamoto recalls meeting with Chris Meledandri, the CEO of Illumination. There was one specific thing that made Miyamoto trust the man, and it wasn't because of the success of their films. Quote, when we started our partnership with Universal, I heard that the CEO of Illumination, Chris Meledandri, wanted to meet with me, Miyamoto says. I didn't know what kind of angle he was getting at, but I'll never forget when he talked to me about why he had failed before. According to Miyamoto, he started to feel like he could trust Meledandri when he spoke about these failures, and it convinced him that Nintendo could work with Illumination. That was right around the time I was considering movies, so we decided to have him do the animation for us. He said, asked to expound on the failure Meledandri talked about, Miyamoto simply responded, can't say, before laughing. So I feel like Miyamoto is like, he's just like a super like creative genius that, like, you know, he reminds me of like the stereotypical like you know, characters in movies where it's like he's like the wizard, you know, like like he just knows things,
like the old samurai master that's
who has you, or like Yoda, or like you know, what's his name, Master Roshi, you know.
I've seen his success in his failure.
And it's like, thank you.
What was his failure? I cannot say.
Yeah, it's like it's like you just trust Miyamoto, you know, like I feel like he knows what he's doing, you know, and I've heard some things like behind the scenes, like on like one of the canceled games I was looking at, that like for the video that I'm working on, he basically, like, this was back on the N64, you know, they had these people working on this game. They had like came to him and they're like, oh, we want to make this game. And he came in and he was like, it's cool, but it's not fun. He's like, I'll be back in 3 months. He's like, find the fun in the game, you know? And so so he like left. And so like they're working on this concept for like 3 months, and then he comes back and he's like, this is better, but it's still not fun. You know, like it's like he like brings it out of people, you know, like he knows when something's fun and the design is going to work, or like he can see the potential in people, you know, and he ended up taking those people and being like, look, forget this game. He's like, I see your potential in a different place, and like moved them to a different game, you know, and then it did well, you know. It's like, it's so weird. Like,
see, I think the beauty of his like thought process is he's got like the ability to think about it from the perspective of like the consumer and the producer, you know, at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
He knows where his resources need to be allocated. I don't know, that's interesting. I really like that story.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the real news, the real important news, probably the most important news.
I'm excited.
Team 17 has announced a new Worms game for 2020. The trailer accompanying the tweet announcement doesn't reveal much of the new title's gameplay, but it looks like it's guaranteed to remain violent and bombastic. I'm so fucking hyped, dude. I fucking love Worms, man. I hope it comes to Switch. I really...
Dude, it will. It's Team 17. It's got to come to Switch.
Did you see the trailer?
I did. I saw the old trailer. It was showing like the old games.
Dude. And then the plasticky looking little worms. I love the new art style. I think that's going to be great.
And they haven't mentioned whether it's going to be like 3D or 2D or whatever.
I really hope it's just like a traditional Worms game with better graphics. But I won't be mad if it's like, because Worms 3D was pretty fun too. It was just a little harder to like get the hang of. You know what I mean?
In a 3D space. Yeah. It just doesn't work as good. Like I want that classic 2D.
Yeah.
Worms.
The gameplay flows so good in the old school Worms game. And it's one of those games that like doesn't really get old. Like, it stands the test of time. I think it'll be fun.
Especially, I would just want to put their little British voices on and just, have a fun game.
Oh, dude, yes.
Throw some holy grenades.
God, I love
the
that
sheep
game.
out there. Anyways, so this is by way of James O'Connor. GameSpot. He says Doom 64 is returning on March 20th for Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, releasing alongside Doom Eternal. The new version features upscaled graphics, a low price point, and we're now learning all new content that was not featured in the original Nintendo 64 version.
A word?
A word. US Gamer is reporting that Night Dive Studios, the team behind the updated port, has added a new chapter to the game. In an interview, senior developer James Haley described the new chapter to the site, saying that it takes place after the Doom 64 story, which is itself set after Doom 2. The mother demon you defeated in that outing had a sister, and since you've been messing
Spoiler alert! Yeah, I'm just kidding.
And since you've been messing up hell nonstop, she tries to get rid of you by sending you away. Haley explains, if you can make your way back and take revenge, you'll be rewarded with a bit of lore that fans of both series, new and classic, should enjoy.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I like that. I love lore. Just give me all the lore.
I like whenever they add stuff to really, really old games. I don't know why.
Me too. Yeah, especially like ones that like the story wasn't really there in the first place, but like we go back and we retroactively like add the story.
Apparently that Black Mesa game we were talking about earlier, they cut the whole like last bit of the game off and they're going to like release it later as like its own thing because they didn't like how the original Half-Life ended.
All right, EA. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Okay. Cyberpunk 2077 is coming to Nvidia's GeForce Now cloud gaming service with all the bells and whistles of the studio's RTX support. This means that even if your PC can't handle what's sure to be a hardware-intensive game, you'll still be able to stream CD Projekt Red's upcoming RPG and experience the vibrant metropolis of Night City with real-time ray tracing included. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting.
I definitely know where I'm getting fucking Cyberpunk at.
No, that's true, especially with your new PC.
Oh, I'm so hyped, dude. My girlfriend's probably so sick of me talking about it, dude. I'm just like sitting there with it, like, oh, I love it. Like,
she's like, if you love it so much, why don't you marry it? You just get it like in the biggest fight of your relationship over a PC.
She's like, just go.
You're like, I can't plug this up outside. No, Stephen Wright at GameSpot says Phantasy Star Online 2 is one of Japan's most popular online RPGs, but it's never been playable outside of Asia before. As part of its North American launch, which does not have an exact release date yet, Sega has announced an upcoming open beta for the game on Xbox One on March 17th. This follows a closed beta that ran in early February. All progress from that beta will carry over to this one and then eventually to the final game launch. According to the game's official site, it requires a whopping 75 gigabytes of free space, as well as an Xbox Live Gold subscription. If you previously downloaded the client, it will update for the open beta on March 16th.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nah, not for 75.
You
Fantasy
download
Stars.
that?
What is it?
I was just gonna say you download that in Call of Duty and your whole hard drive's full. Like,
that's true. It is true. Phantasy Star Online's cool, but I don't know if like today it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna hop on there and be like, this is tight. You know?
And you know, like just looking at the gameplay, it's like what makes this 75 gigabytes? Is it just like a really big world?
It's an MMO. You know, like it's gonna be crazy.
I mean, I guess, but there's like other MMOs that aren't 75 gigabytes.
How many gigs is DC Universe?
I don't know. I could probably look it up. I bet it's not 75.
Well, I'll look it up. You go to the next bit of news.
All right. Shenmue III is wasting no time with DLC launches, releasing its third pack just a month after the second. The Big Merry Cruise Pack arrives March 17th, sending Rio on a relaxing but high-stakes excursion set in the Nihao Harbor. The Big Merry Cruise DLC pack sees a new cruise ship arriving in town. Ryu is free to board the ship and explore its halls and even maintenance areas below the deck, but you're likely to spend most of your time gambling. You can also get special outfits for clearing mini-quests, and there are challenge missions exclusive to the ship. So that's pretty fun. I feel like a lot of the allure of Shenmue to me is like just playing all the little mini-games and stuff, so I imagine there's probably a lot of that.
Yeah, Shenmue's basically good just for that.
Right? Just for the Plinko game in Shenmue 2. Like.
Yeah. So, DC Universe Online, they literally wrote this. It'll take up a whopping 24.1 gigs.
Whopping, dude.
Yeah. It's like we went from 75. So, I guess that is a lot. That is a lot for an MMO.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Very crazy.
All right.
Let me see. Okay, so Matt Kim at IGN says, following the announcement that the city of Los Angeles is declaring a state of emergency over concerns about COVID-19, the Entertainment Software Association, or the ESA, has issued a new statement regarding E3, saying they are, quote, monitoring and evaluating the situation daily. The ESA says E3 is still planned to proceed in the full statement. The health and safety of our attendees, exhibitors, partners, and staff is our top priority. Apparently not. While the ESA continues to plan for a safe and successful E3 show June 9th through 11th, 2020, we are monitoring and evaluating the situation daily. Our E3 team and partners continue to monitor COVID-19 via the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization. We are actively assessing the latest information and will continue to develop measures to further reduce health risks at the show. They just need to call it off, you know, at this point, because like I listen to the news every morning. Maybe that's probably why I'm so pessimistic and just a really sad, depressed person. But every morning I'm like, hey, Google. Well, don't listen to me, Google. Okay. But I'm like, what's the news? And it'll be like, here's your morning or your daily morning update. And it's just like, COVID-19 is ravaging the planet. Everyone is dying. And it's just like, there's 11 cases, confirmed cases in Houston now.
Oh.
Like there was like the lady who went through the mall in San Antonio. Like in San Antonio, I think there's like close to 11 or more. You know, like LA's on lockdown. The entire country of Italy is on lockdown.
Oh shit! They locked down the whole Italy, dude.
Yeah, like you're
Mamma mia.
Yeah, Mamma mia. No, you can't. you can't go to work. Like they want everybody to work from home.
That's a bit.
And like, yeah, I know. I'm not complaining.
I'll work from home.
There's gonna
be my Oculus Quest.
Through the Quest. Yeah. See, that's my thing. Is like these are dangerous times. You know, we shouldn't be spreading. It's like I get it that it's not as insane as like, you know, the media makes it, but why would we go to a convention? You know, like why go to a convention where people from all over the country, all over the world are going to come and, you know, just spread this, you know, possible virus or possibly spread this virus. I'm good. I'm good on that. You know, like it's fine. E3. Well, actually it might not be fine. See, that's my thing is like if E3 doesn't go forth this year, and
you might as well just call this shit off, dude. Yeah. Like, fuck it. At this point, fuck it.
That's
dude.
what I'm saying. Like,
you know?
if E3 doesn't happen this year and all of these, like, companies do their own little thing and they see how well it works out for them and they see that they don't really need E3.
This could be the official end of
E3.
This
might be the death of E3.
Dude, E3 might die a lot sooner than I thought, for sure. If it
COVID-19 is going to kill it.
Man, that's terrifying. And I think E3, the organizers of E3 know that if they don't do an E3 and everybody does their own show and realizes they don't need E3.
They're like, oh, fuck.
They're like, fuck. They're thinking exactly like you're thinking. They're like, fuck, we can't let them do this independent of us because then they'll realize they don't need us anymore, you know? And there's certain little devs that would like really greatly benefit from the platform of E3, like Devolver Digital and stuff like that. But for the most part, I mean, you know, if Activision holds a big press conference, people are going to watch. You know what I mean?
Of course, but it won't be enough to keep the E3 viewership up. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not talking about with E3. I'm just saying,
just in general.
If they post some shit on YouTube, like...
Yeah, that's all they need. I mean, look, Nintendo's been doing it for years. You know? It's like, and it's been working out just fine for them. Yeah. You know, PlayStation's been doing it for the past 2 years, you know, or like the past year, and this will be their second year. I just think this is it. I think this is the end, and I think we're going to see next year when you go to the E3 wiki page, it's going to have like from this year to 2020, you know, rest in peace. COVID-19 was the cause of fatality.
You know what I think? I think E3 is going to change and adapt. I don't think it's going to be like press conferences and stuff next year. It's just going to be like the show floor.
That would be smart.
I think that they're going to just, like, cut the fucking bullshit and do, like, just double down on the fucking show floor. Because that's what's, you know, people are paying tickets for and wanting.
That's what I was about to say. Or just maybe no show. Maybe it's just, like they don't stream it or anything. You just go and get to play games.
Exactly. Like, that's what it would be cool. You know, I don't know. Go play the new games. Pay for your ticket. Like, I think that's where we're headed here. You know, I don't know. It's sad, but I think that's what's happening.
Unfortunately, that's where we're at in this day and age.
I'll save you a long article. But basically, 2K is taking their games off of GeForce now also. So, like, this is like the third developer in like less than a month that's taken their games off of Nvidia's streaming service. So,
for whatever reason, it's not worth the I guess, to put your games on there. I don't understand.
Well, it was in like a beta like thing, and I think that most of the people's contract went up when the beta went up, and like I guess they realized like, hey, we're not really benefiting from this or anything.
Yeah, but do they have to pay to put their games on there? That's my question. Or is it like, do they get paid to put their games on there?
I don't think they have to pay to get their games on there.
Then why would you pull it? You know, like I just don't understand. They must
As a matter of fact, I think they get paid by Nvidia probably, but they probably feel like they could make more money selling their game to the people that would be streaming it. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I want to look more into that.
To me, it just sounds like Nvidia is not offering them enough money, you know, because Xbox doesn't seem to have as many issues with developers. Like, I don't know, like all the people on Game Pass seem to be pretty satisfied with whatever deal Xbox is offering them. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Eddie McCooch at GameSpot says the Nintendo PlayStation console, one of the rarest and most fabled gaming systems in history, has sold at auction, bringing in a huge sum of money. The system, which is a rare piece of history, is now significant for the sum it sold for as well as for being an interesting cultural creation. The Heritage Auctions listing via Ars Technica shows that the console sold on Friday, March 6th for $300,000. The unspecified person who won the auction actually paid $380,000 with the buyer's premium included. The $300,000 sell price is far and away the highest ever price paid for a single gaming item. The previous record belonged to a sealed, unopened copy of Super Mario Bros. For the NES that sold in 2019 for $100,150, according to US Gamer. The identity of the winner was not revealed. Oculus VR founder Palmer Luckey previously revealed himself to be the highest bidder at one point earlier in the auction period, but he did not win the auction ultimately. Instead, the console was won by Greg McLemore, who plans to open a museum. The Nintendo PlayStation was publicly unveiled at the Consumer Electronics Show in 1991, but Nintendo backed out of the arrangement with Sony, and at the very same event announced it would be entering into a partnership with Philips, which would result in the infamous Philips CDI and its notorious Zelda titles. The 200 existing prototypes for the Nintendo PlayStation were said to be destroyed, and some things that should not have been forgotten were lost.
Dude, I'm so glad he's putting it in a museum. I feel like that's where that shit belongs. I feel like Indiana Jones, man.
This belongs in a museum.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's really cool. I love gaming history.
Dude, that's crazy. What a baller, dude. Like, just
380,000.
Man.
He's like, I am now broke.
Just outbid Palmer Lucky. Like, what a gangster. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Games come and go. That's the nature of Xbox Game Pass. The games you have access to there are not yours forever, and the popular Games on Demand service will witness 3 high-profile departures in the next 2 weeks, as Deus Ex Mankind Divided and Shenmue 1 and 2 will be leaving Game Pass on Xbox One. This news comes via a recent update on the Microsoft Store. And since these are fairly big games, you'll need to set aside some time if you want to dig into them. Thimbleweed Park and Licht Spear Double Spear Edition are also departing Game Pass on Xbox One and PC in the next couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, they put Yakuza 0 on there, and they were like, we don't need Shenmue.
Yeah, for real. Honestly, I'm okay with that. I'll take Yakuza series over Shenmue any day. Sorry, Shenmue.
Yeah, I probably should have played Thimbleweed Park all the way through, but I just...
Dude, I've got it on my Switch if you ever want to play it. It's
Have you beat it?
No. I got, hung up at one spot, and I just kind of, gave up on it.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's a hard game.
Some of the puzzles are really hard, and there's, lots and lots of items, so inventory management is weird, and I don't know.
It's just too much.
It's too much.
Joe Screbbles at IGN says a PC version of Horizon Zero Dawn has been confirmed after months of rumors. In an interview with PlayStation Blog, head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios and ex-managing director of Guerrilla Games, Herman Holst, announced the news. Quote, yes, I can confirm that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC this summer. There will be more information coming from Guerrilla from the new studio directors pretty soon. When asked about what this means for the future of major PlayStation games making the jump to PC, Holst tempered any idea that this meant day-and-date PC releases of PlayStation exclusives. Quote, I think it's important that we stay open to new ideas of how to introduce more people to PlayStation and show people maybe that they've been missing out or what they've been missing out on. And to maybe put a few minds at ease, releasing one first-party AAA title to PC doesn't necessarily mean that every game now will come to PC. In my mind, Horizon Zero Dawn was just a great fit in this particular instance.
Totally.
We don't have plans for day-and-date PC releases, and we remain 100% committed to dedicated hardware.
Horizon seems like a PC game. It just feels like a PC game. I can feel with a mouse and keyboard, it would just feel so good shooting the bow. I don't know why.
It's made by the people who made Crysis, right? Isn't it the same team?
I'm not sure.
And Crysis,
I wouldn't be surprised.
The ultimate PC looking game.
It's gonna look beautiful on PC. It looks so good on PlayStation. I can only imagine how they're gonna soup it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'll be party. I know a lot of Sony ponies out there are real upset about this, but y'all, it's all right. You can be all right. Quit stopping people from playing good games.
Right. Okay. Sad news here. Call of Duty Mobile is losing one of its key modes later this month. In the wake of the game's latest season, starting alongside a major update. The latest community update on Reddit has confirmed that Zombies mode will be removed from the game as of March 25th.
I guess people aren't playing it.
I guess so, but why not just leave it there to fuck with?
That
do
is
you have
very
to
strange.
maintain it or something? Anyways, we had always mentioned the limit, blah blah blah. Yeah, you get the picture. But that's sad. They said they might bring it back at some point, but it's I don't know why you couldn't just take the multiplayer functionality out of it and leave the actual game in, so you could just play an offline zombies match if you wanted to,
Yeah, or Bluetooth or something, somehow if you're close to somebody.
And you know what else is fucked up? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But they had announced that they were going to add another map to it, and now they're just scrapping that too. They're just nope, never mind, we're not doing that map anymore.
They were fuck it, look at the money. Matt Kim at IGN says the city of Austin, Texas has canceled South by Southwest, the annual music and arts festival that in recent years has featured more video game and entertainment content. The organizers of South by Southwest announced the news in a blog saying that this is the first time in 34 years of the event that it has been canceled. The organizers of South by Southwest are clearly stating that the decision was from the city of Austin and not the organizers themselves. Quote, as recently as Wednesday, Austin Public Health stated that there's no evidence that closing South by Southwest or any other gatherings will make the community safer. However, the situation evolved rapidly and we honor and respect the city of Austin's decision. I hate how dumb that like. You know how many people have said that?
That's dumb as fuck.
It's
like it's
we don't know how to
make the city safer. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
We're like a whole bunch of like fucking nerds gathering in one place, breathing all over each other, fucking touching the same
from
controllers
all over the country. Like,
yeah, like some people with like low hygiene. You know, like there's gonna be a shit ton of people there that probably don't shower. You know, that's not to say that gamers don't shower, but just
this
in
is
general,
South by Southwest, the music festival.
Yeah, but it's also got a gaming part to it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like there's just a whole bunch of shit going on. It's the same thing with E3. Like, you know, you're going to have a bunch of fucking like normal people, but you're also going to have a bunch of furries and a bunch of like fucking, you know, like cosplayers and stuff. Not that cosplayers don't shower. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying let's just be real here. There are some anime cosplayers that I wouldn't put it past them. You know, put a little bit too much time into their costumes, not enough time into themselves. And, you know, so
into the shower,
Yeah.
To be fair,
I hope this clip, like, I hope that becomes a clip and blows up just because I want people to be mad at me about that.
Oh God.
I just know that like, if for whatever reason our show actually gets really popular one day, this is the one clip that they're going to pull out and be like, this is hatred.
He's speaking down on everybody who listens to his own show.
We just have a bunch of furries like listening.
That's all our Japanese listeners.
Oh man.
All right. No offense, Japanese listeners. Just kidding. Game of Thrones Network, HBO, recently announced a partnership with Sony for a TV show based on The Last of Us. And now, some new details about it have come to light. Or at least a new tease. Neil Druckmann, who wrote The Last of Us, is also writing the TV show with Chernobyl's Craig Mazin. Has teased that the Last of Us TV show may feature playable characters from The Last of Us Part 2. So
that's very cool.
That's really cool. I'm excited about the show. I think it's going to be good, especially since they got the writer of the game involved.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We were talking about this on our other podcast. They're going to flip shit about this, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be a crazy thing because it's either going to be amazing or it's not. You know, there's not going to be any in between with this. And I think it's going to kind of spell out the future for like video game adaptations, you know, like for TV shows, you know, like.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like The Witcher kind of did that. I mean, it's not like the best show ever,
yeah,
but it's also not bad, and it was really well received, and I feel like it's got high production value, you know? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, but I feel like this is a little bit different, though, because this is like Sony Productions.
Yeah, and they got the Chernobyl writer, which I think he's going to, or the director or whatever, I think he's going to do really well.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that vibe from like the dilapidated, you know, Chernobyl or whatever versus fucking, you know,
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, dude, it's gonna be good.
Definitely. Joe Screbbles at IGN says Ghost of Tsushima will be released on June 26th. Announced on the PlayStation blog, Sucker Punch's new game also got a new story trailer and details of the special collector's and digital deluxe version of the games. So yeah, we got that June 26th release date finally.
That's really cool.
And Brent, you take us through the rest of the news because I'm out of it. I'm out.
All right, I'll just kind of give you the old blow through on these news articles. Let's see. Make-A-Wish has made it to where they have 15-year-old William Floyd now in NBA 2K20. He's like a playable character now. It was his Make-A-Wish wish. So I thought that was kind of cool, especially since the 2K developers over there did all that. He's even got his own like dance in the game and stuff, you know.
It's really depressing. What was like? Does he have cancer? Like, is that how that works?
I don't think it's terminal. I really don't know because they keep talking about his future and stuff in the, in the article. You know, I don't know. I really don't know how Make-A-Wish works. Like, do you have to be like on your
dying?
deathbed?
I don't think so. I think you can survive. You know,
It's like, is that the rule? Like
you get
oh
you
shit,
get this
he's
wish.
gonna live. We got to take his wish away now. Like,
Or they just kill him.
oh, he already got his wish.
It's like
he's gonna survive.
It's like, we found the cure, but unfortunately, you've already used up your wish.
I thought you had to be super young too, but he's like 15, so he's like, you know.
I think as long as you're under 18,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Either way, it's a cool story, and it's really cool of NBA 2K, or just the 2K guys over there, you know, 2K Sports, I guess.
For sure.
Let's see. Oh, Call of Duty Modern Warfare has added a Tamagotchi pet you can wear on your wrist, and you have to, like, feed him with, like, kills. Like, if you don't get enough kills, he gets hungry and, like, sad.
That's tight. I mean? I like that.
It's really cool. It's one of my favorite little cosmetic items I've seen in a game in a while, so I just thought that was neat and newsworthy. Let's see. Oh, okay, this is fun. You know the guy who hacked into the PT game and like did all the like cool
boundary breaks?
Yeah,
stuff?
where you can like see the girl behind you and stuff. Well, he did it with God of War 2018, and like there's a fight scene where you like have like you fight this boss, and he like unlocked the camera.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I saw this.
And he, like, knocks the boss over the cliff, and, like, the fight ends, and, like, he, like, goes down into the valley where, like, the boss had fallen, and, like, he's just sitting there with his, like, middle finger up. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's like this. He's, like, both of his middle fingers, and he's, like, flicking off, you know, like Kratos, basically.
Yeah, it was really, really great.
Yeah, so
fun little Easter egg.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it normally. There's no way to see it unless you can boundary break.
But it's like so obvious, like that they meant for it
to
like land like that. I don't know. That's so funny. Let's see. Okay. With HalfLife Alex launching later this month, developer Valve is opening the doors to a franchise that has left dormant for years. But even though the latest entry is a prequel to the story we already know, it seems Valve wants to continue exploring its world further in the future. In an interview with Game Informer, Valve developer Robin Walker explained that Alex has reintroduced the franchise to developers at Valve, who hope that it won't be the last game in the series they work on. There are also people on the team for whom Half-Life Alex is their first time working on this series at all, and many of them certainly hope it's not the last, Walker stated. We absolutely see Half-Life Alex as our return to this world, not the end of it. Walker was also asked about whether or not Alex will answer some lingering questions left by Half-Life Episode 2. Although he doesn't provide a definitive answer, he does suggest that, quote, it's not a bad idea for players to have refreshed themselves on the events of Episode 2 before starting Half-Life Alex. Okay, here's an interesting one. A former Counter-Strike professional player has been hit with a huge sentence after conviction of fraud.
Saw that, yeah.
Universo Online is reporting that Cheyenne Victorio has been sentenced to 116 years in prison after allegations of fraud were made towards an online store that she helped operate between 2013 and 2017. Victorio, who parlayed her success at professional Counter-Strike Go and 1.6 into a large online following, is accused of operating a storefront that did not deliver on its sales to customers, with more than 100 customers left without items paid for or a refund. Despite the sentencing, Brazil puts a 30-year limit on prison time for its citizens. Victorio is also appealing the case, stating that her former business partners on the site are to blame, including her ex-husband. In a statement on her Instagram page, Victorio clarifies that as she is currently in an appeals process, she has not been arrested yet. She will only be taken into custody if the appeal fails. But her lawyer told Universo Online that they consider the sentence inhumane and that they seek a new decision from the court under the guise of the principle of innocence. As of you get the point.
Yeah. I mean, I could see if, you know, her ex-husband really did do it. Like, apparently she's telling people online, like, people were commenting saying, like, how her ex-husband had, like, stole all of the items, you know, like, so she couldn't send them out or whatever. And it's like, at that point, it's like, what do you do? You know, what do you do?
What do you do? You take your fucking website down and you stop selling shit to people. That's what you do.
No, I'm saying, well, yeah.
Over 100 fucking people? Are you fucking kidding me?
Maybe it happened at one time. Maybe it was all at one time.
I do agree that 116 years seems a little harsh.
1 year for every shirt.
Dude, for real, like what the fuck? But this is the weirdest part about this whole thing is the Brazil puts a 30-year limit on prison time for citizens.
Dude.
So you can just do whatever the fuck in Brazil and you'll be good 30 years later.
You can literally murder somebody and the maximum sentence you can get is 30 years.
Dude, what? That's fucking horrifying, dude.
It's very horrifying. That's why we live in America. No offense to Brazil, but you know,
I think there should only be an exception for like murder, maybe. You know?
No, dude. If you go,
I'm cool with that rule, but like just except for murder.
Yeah. And I don't think it has anything to do with the people or the culture or anything like that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I think this law specifically makes it easier for criminals to exist, you know, especially violent criminals.
What if you kill like a fuckload of people, dude? Like
you get 30 years maximum sentence.
Bro.
That's insane, dude. It's the real thing. There's this YouTube channel called Active Self-Protection.
Oh yes.
Have you ever watched that?
Yeah, I watched them.
Where like almost every video is in Brazil. Like where it's like an off-duty officer like, you know, basically has to shoot someone to death who's like, cuz there's like so many motorcycle like robbers that will come up and just like kill you for your shit. Like,
oh my god.
It's so crazy. So crazy. And it's because they can only get 30 years max, you know? So it's like, and chances are they're not going to get the full 30 years, you know?
No.
It's like, it's so crazy. You know, I like life sentences. But anyways, what you got over there? Is
That's
that it?
That's all I got.
Yeah. Wow. This is a hot topic episode. I feel like
we're hitting all the hot button issues.
Yeah,
you know?
People are going to be like, "Wow, I hate these guys now." Anyways,
that's every week, dude.
Yeah, probably so. We're going to jump on over to this week's releases, where I'm going to let you know what brand new games you can get in the next 7 days, starting with Hidden Through Time, coming to Switch, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and mobile on March 12th for $7.99. Embark on a colorful hand-drawn journey of discovery through the ages, from missing dinosaur eggs in the Stone Age to a king's crown in medieval times. Can you find them all? Discover, create, and share worlds with your own hidden treasures in Hidden Through Time. Hidden Through Time is a cute game of hide-and-seek with objects scattered throughout the wonderful history of our world. Use cryptic hints to discover every secret as you explore the colorful hand-drawn levels. Find enough objects to advance to the next stage and make your way through all 4 great ages. Okay. And then we got Neon City Riders coming to Xbox One, Switch, PC, or PS4 and PC on March 12th for $19.99. Take on the role of Rick, a masked vigilante who needs to explore the decaying futuristic Neon City in search of items, abilities, and companions to defeat the 4 super-powered gang bosses and free all its turf from their claws. Neon City Riders is an action-adventure game created by Mecha Studios and inspired an 80s sci-fi scene. What? That doesn't make sense. Each turf is composed by different aesthetics, enemies, mechanics, puzzles, and side quests, giving Neon City Riders a multi-ending solid-length experience. And then we got A Street Cat's Tale coming to Switch on March 12th for $7.99. A Street Cat's Tale is a story of a baby kitten left alone at the town. In an adventure game played at the cat's view, you will become a baby kitten to survive with 13 days to become an adult cat.
13 days?
That's all you got.
That's fast.
That's a fast-growing cat.
Grow up quick, man. Mean in these streets. That sounds tight, actually. I'd play that.
Yeah, I want to check that out. It's on Switch. It's only coming to Switch.
Oh, okay.
Bless Unleashed coming to Xbox One on March 12th. Couldn't find a price for this game. Built with the hardcore MMO gamer in mind, Bless Unleashed takes players on an epic multiplayer journey across a vibrant, persistent world where gods exist and mythical beasts are a constant threat. Adventurers will battle in hopes of surviving vicious, lethal monsters that inhabit the untamed landscape. And then we got My Hero 1's Justice 2 coming to Xbox. It sounds like a password.
You're right.
It's coming to Xbox One, Switch, PS4, and PC on March 13th for $59.99. The battle for justice continues, but this time the fight gets bigger, badder, and more quirkier in My Hero 1's Justice 2. Based on the hit Shonen Jump series, My Hero Academia. All of your favorite characters return in this 3D arena fighter that pits heroes and villains in the ultimate test for righteousness. Play through the anime and experience memorable fights as you relive iconic scenes. Pick up after the finish of My Hero 1's Justice and see what happens to Deku and the class of UA. Cool. Then we got Neo 2 coming to PS4 on March 13th for $59.99. Unleash your darkness. Master the lethal arts of the samurai as a mysterious half-human, half-supernatural yokai warrior in the challenging action RPG sequel, Neo 2. Journey to 1555 Japan, a country gripped in endless warfare where monsters and evil spirits stalk a land of natural beauty and menacing peril. Hunt down your enemies as a rogue mercenary wielding the supernatural powers of the mythical yokai. Can you survive the treacherous Sengoku era and the new and terrifying Dark Realm? Unsheathe your deadly weapons and cut down all enemies in your path using a revamped combat system and the ability to transform into a full yokai to unleash devastating paranormal powers. Discover deadly weapons and skills as you explore a violent Sengoku-era Japan and the deadly Dark Realm, both plagued with grotesque, merciless demons. Join friends online in multiplayer modes, summon allies to your aid in visitors, or play completed levels together in expeditions.
That's going to be tight.
And then we got Artificial Extinction coming to PC on March 13th. Couldn't find a price for this game. Artificial Extinction is a Sentry defense game involving real-time strategy elements played from the first-person point of view. Set in the future, you play a colonist seeking a peaceful planet for your new home. Your mission is to find a safe place on the planet for your family to join you in 9 days. The planet has had terraforming robots working for decades in preparation for human colonization, but the AI humanity invented has become an enemy and discovered this planet. Are the robots on the planet waiting for you hostile? You have 9 days to find a safe place on the planet. At the beginning of the day, the ship will drop you off on the planet and then orbit above you where it is safe. You have to set up a miner to collect fuel for the ship, but hostile robots will advance towards you. You have sentry weapons that you set up around you to provide protection while the miner is collecting fuel. Once enough fuel is collected, your ship will descend to pick you up and you continue your journey looking for a safer place on the planet. Okay.
Okay.
Weird. And then we got Grand Blue Fantasy Versus coming to PC on March 13th for $59.99, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Power, Skill, and Spirit collide in a quest to find the true champion of the ring. In this fighting game set in the world of Grand Blue Fantasy, players can take on AI opponents or fight against human opponents in local or online two-player matches. Characters entering into battle in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus include Gran, the protagonist of Grand Blue Fantasy, who travels the skies with his winged companion Vern, Lyria, the mysterious girl who saved his life, Catalina, an ex-Imperial knight sworn to protect those she holds dear, Charlotta, the virtuous captain of the Lumiel Order of Holy Knights, Lancelot, a dual-wielding master swordsman, and lastly, Fairy, a ghost with a whip and spectral pets.
Spectral pets.
Oh my gosh. And then finally, we got MLB The Show 20 coming to PS4 on March 17th for $59.99. MLB The Show 20 is what baseball dreams are made of. With new ways to play, greater customization, and more exciting new paths to rake in rewards, this is the biggest and best show ever. Write your own baseball legacy in an expansive RPG experience, or build and manage the team of your dreams to face intense online competition. The Show 20 is your ticket to play America's pastime your way.
Cool.
I can barely breathe. Okay. Yeah, this is like the last MLB The Show that's only going to be on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's kind of exciting. Yeah, I feel like MLB The Show is actually one of the best baseball series for sure, if not the best.
Yeah, I like how it's going to get all, or it has like that whole RPG aspect to it. That's pretty cool.
It's kind of exciting. I feel like that'd be fun. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week's releases. We're going to jump on over to Currently Playing, where we're going to let you know what we've been playing. And you can let us know what you've been playing in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast, or you can just, drop it in the comments wherever you're watching this. It could be on YouTube, whatever. We'll see it. We'll message back. Anyways, you want to go? You want me to go? How do you want to do this?
I can go. Okay, so basically at the very beginning, I gotta walk you through my week in order to tell you, like, what I've been playing, because basically what I've been doing with my free time is playing video games.
Walk me.
So, like, my week started, and, like, I knew my computer was on the way, and so I bought this app called Virtual Desktop that's supposed to let you, like, play games wirelessly through your computer or whatever, and when I bought the app, like, this little message came up in the Oculus store, and it's like, hey, buy another app, and we'll add $10 in credit to your account in like 2 weeks. And I was like, all right. Because I had already like gotten this same message a while back.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I didn't, I still haven't gotten the credit on my account or whatever, but it wasn't very long ago, And so I was like, okay, maybe this is like a glitch, or maybe they're going to give me $20 in credit whenever I fucking finally. So I was like, whatever, I'll take a risk, So I bought like a little cheapo game, and I got this game called 11 VR Table Tennis, okay? I didn't expect much from this, okay? This is fucking great, dude. It is so good. It feels like you're playing real fucking ping pong, dude. And you can play online multiplayer with people, and like, dude, just like the way you hit the ball, it's like, it's so realistic. Like, I played a lot of ping pong in my day, and it just feels really real. I don't know. It's really cool. And you can like get around, you like go over to the side of the table and like get over here and,
Can you get some top spin on it?
Bro, yeah, you got to get some top spin on it if you want to like compete online with these people. They're fucking good.
Damn.
But it's a lot of fun. Then I went on Xbox Game Pass and I played this game called 2 Point Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Did you play that?
Jason Domican posted that he was playing that. No,
it's a lot of
fun,
dude. If you like sim games, like not simulation, but like sims,
Yeah. I heard it's kind of like a comedy game. Like, it's meant to be fun and funny and like.
It's funny, but it's just kind of like a really simple tycoon game. You know what I mean? It's really enjoyable. You just kind of like chill and build. It is funny. Like, there's not like, but it's only really funny in the sense that it's like not serious. Like, it's not gonna like make you sit there and like laugh your ass off the whole time you're playing it. You know what I mean? It's just not like a serious doctor simulator game. But it is really fun. You just like try to make your hospital as profitable as you can, and you have to like build, different wings of the hospital according to like how, your patients need, this and that, It's interesting, and it's a fun little like management game. I don't know. I got a kick out of it.
Nice. Yeah, that's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, so check it out. But then I got my computer in, and basically I like hooked up the computer to virtual desktop, because like at this point I had that shitty cord I was talking about ordered on Amazon, and so I'm like waiting on the cord to come in, because I know that'll be the best way to play like VR games through the computer or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll try the virtual desktop. So I hooked up my my Quest to the computer wirelessly through this program called Virtual Desktop. First of all, this app is fucking cool. It's really cool. You can like basically just, if your computer is turned on, you can access the computer through Wi-Fi. That's basically all there is to it. And you can play all your games and stuff, watch your movies, whatever. But like, you can also play your VR games, which is really, really incredible that it even works. Like, it's just wild. Like, I don't understand how it's sending that much information wirelessly to my fucking headset. Like, I just don't get it, but it works.
So why do you even need the cable?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, the router at the house I'm at is downstairs in a different room. You know what I mean?
So the Wi-Fi is not that good.
So the Wi-Fi is not that good. It does, like, every now and then it'll, like, stutter and stuff. You know what I mean? And, like, the visual quality will get pixely. It's like watching Hulu or something. You know what I mean? And it can be a little jarring in VR. But, like, if I get close to the router, it works fine. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I just would rather not have to worry about it at all and just hook a wire. Because the wire in my head doesn't really bother me. You're talking to a guy who's been hooked up to a PlayStation VR, only able to face one direction for his whole, you know what I mean? So, like, this is, like, all just a big step up for me. Like, it doesn't even matter to me, like, at this point. So I hook up the wire. Anyways, long story short, I tested a bunch of games through the virtual desktop. It works pretty good. So I've decided I'll use virtual desktop, like, when my girlfriend's, like, asleep in the room, I'll just go in the other room and use virtual desktop. And then, you know, during the day, I'll just hook up to the wire or whatever. Anyways, I like to have both options. But I finally got the wire in from Amazon that I ordered. And I'm testing all these games. You know, I have a lot of, like, free games that I got already for the Quest, and then I, like, cross-buy for the Rift version, you know? So I tested Robot Recall out, and I tested out, like, Vader Immortal. And, you know, they all obviously look way better. But, I mean, essentially their, you know, Quest counterpart is pretty damn good. You know what I mean? So it's not much of a difference, just other than, like, slightly better graphics. But then I went and bought fucking Boneworks, dude. It's, like, probably one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my whole life, dude. It is so fucking good. Like, it's like just so far beyond anything you could do with like the PSVR or the Quest by itself, you know? Like, I don't know. The thing about Boneworks, or just like any PC VR game really, is like the big thing is like you can be in big open areas without your draw distance being all fuzzy or like things not loading off in the distance, you know?
Yeah.
You can do open spaces a lot better. And that's one thing, like, PlayStation's really good at, like, doing, like, little, like, rooms, like, small rooms or, like, caves or something. They do that really well, but, like, big open areas are hard to, like, make believable with just the, I guess, the technology.
It's just the draw distance.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but, like, the draw distance is fucking incredible. So, like, it draws you into these big rooms that you, like, before now, it's just, like, wasn't super believable. And then the physics in this game, basically, this game is, like, Portal and like the first Half-Life game mixed together in VR. Like the whole game is kind of like first of all, when you boot up the game, it's like this game is only for like seasoned VR people. Like you will get sick if you play this and you're not like, you know, if you haven't been playing VR for like a year, you know? And so like it warns you that you know, need to know your shit. But it's like the physics in the game is like everything has collision detection. So you have physical arms and shit, and if you like hit them into each other, they'll like bend and stuff. If you like hit your head on something in the game, it'll like, you know, it's just like everything has physics. So like if you sweep your hand across a table and it's full of shit, all the shit will fall off. You know what I mean? You can pick up anything and use it like as a weapon. Fucking, it's really, really crazy. But like the actual gameplay is like Portal, kind of in the sense that it's like it starts out like every other VR game, like you're just throwing shit into a bin and doing like generic VR shit, you know what I mean? And then it just kind of like breaks you loose and you realize you're in this like sequence of like like VR tech demos, you know what I mean? That's like I don't know, you're stuck in this like facility where there's like VR tech demos everywhere and you're trying to get out of the simulation and shit. It's like really fucking crazy. Like the story just gets like wild and like fucking the gameplay is like got good combat and like puzzles are like it's just a fucking really good game. Like there's nothing better than like latching yourself onto like a pole with like a fucking crowbar and like swinging yourself across a gap, you know what I mean? Like it's just like nuts. Like I like when you stab something, it like goes in and it just feels like I don't know, and like you pull it and they like kind of like come back with you. Like you fucking hit something with a hammer. Like when you pick up an item, there's like weight to all the items. So like if you pick up a hammer, it doesn't just like pop right up. It like slowly comes up, which sounds like it'd be disorienting, but like the game itself is like, just imagine the item you're holding. It tells you this. It says imagine the item you're holding with the weight of the item in your mind, and like it'll, you know, feel right. And it does. Like if you just like pretend the item weighs what it does, it like suddenly it just makes sense in your brain and it like all just feels right. And like the physics are so good. Like you can break glass and it all shatter and fall around you in like the right way. I don't know. It's just amazing. Like you got to look up some fucking like gameplay for this game. It is so good. Like I can't stress it enough. I even bought The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners because that's the game everybody else was telling me to play. But like I haven't been able to put down Boneworks since I started playing it. It's like really crazy. Like
nice. That's pretty cool. I like the immersion that like it's like
the graphics are nuts, dude. Like
the bathrooms here are nuts. No, it's like the immersion is like it's as close as you're gonna get until they find out a way to actually cause like weight, you know, bearing like stuff, you know, in VR to like translate somehow.
It feels so good when you get used to it. Just like everything having that like sense of realness to it, and like everything is interactable. Like you can pick the table up and like flip it over. I mean, obviously it doesn't just like flip over like and fly off, but like it's just it's so good, dude. I think that's how Half-Life Alex is gonna be. Like they're gonna have to have that real collision detection like that and shit, you know.
It looks like it's gonna be like that. I mean, they showed that in the trailers where like, you know, there's a bunch of stuff on a shelf and you can just like knock it all over if you want, whatever, and pick it all up. So pretty interesting. So is that what you've been playing?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Sweet. Well, I actually jumped back into Breath of the Wild and played about probably, I'd say like 10 to 15 hours this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I played a lot, dude. Like, and I've just been doing like side quests and stuff. Like, I think total, like I'm like 40 hours in.
You're starting to get more into it, or
way more into it. I got the Master Sword finally, and I think that changed everything when I went back in and realized how close I was to having the Master Sword. And
so does the Master Sword just break on you after you hit something with it 5 times? Like,
no, it breaks after like if you use it a lot on just random things, it'll break, but then you have to wait 10 minutes and then it'll come back.
Oh, so it repairs itself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just like a real timer, like it takes 10 minutes of real time and then you can use it again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so and like I just went in and I did a bunch of like a bunch of shrines and stuff like that. Like I built up my you have to have 13 hearts to even be able to pull the Master Sword out of the ground. So like I got to the Master Sword and I was like, hell yeah, I'm about to pull this bitch out. And the Deku Tree's like, if you try and pull it out, you'll die, unless you have the right amount of hearts. And so like the first time he like stops you, like you try it. And then right before you die, he's like, yeah, you don't have enough hearts. So then I had to like Google it and I'm like, fuck, I have to get 13. So I just went and searched for shrines and like ended up opening more places on the map that I hadn't been to yet. And like, eventually got enough, went and opened it, and like I've just been doing. I found that the game's a lot more magical, like than I first expect, or like the first time I played it, I guess I just wasn't in the mood for it or something.
Yeah.
But now, like I'm getting this like overwhelming like joy of being in the game. Like I'm starting to feel what I guess they were trying to convey. Like I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I'm not going to say where I saw it, but I found a dragon and like all this stuff, like, and it was like the most like, just like it was like on accident, because I was looking for a shrine.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to say where I found it, but the set piece of where you find this just out in the wild, like I just stumble across it and and then like it's like flying through the sky and you got to battle it in the sky, and it's just a side mission. It's not even like part of the actual game, and this thing is like taking up the entire sky. And you're just like fighting it, and you kill all the evil parts of it, and like it drops like this magical like scale and like all this stuff, and it opens up like this area, and like you find the shrines, and I don't know. I've been buying up my armor so I can go into different areas, that like I couldn't go before. I feel like I was just so restricted the last time I played, and I guess I just wasn't open to. I wasn't feeling like getting all the stuff I needed to get into the further reaches. But now like my stamina levels are almost complete, so like I'm having a lot of fun just like flying around, finding new things, and like solving all the puzzles of the shrines and stuff like that. And
honestly, the sword thing was a big turnoff for me. Like, I'm really happy that I could get that Master Sword if I wanted to. I'm gonna have to go back and
dude, you should definitely go back into it. It's so worth it. Even the weapons, like it reached a point to where before I even got the Master Sword, I was starting to get that feel that everybody was saying about like how it doesn't really matter that they break, because I was finding a lot of weapons in the places I was going to that were so like powerful, that I could just like take out like the enemies and they'd break at the end of the fights, so like I'd be like, okay, cool, whatever, and I still have a bunch of weapons left over. Like right now I have like a bunch of like elemental weapons and stuff that I had never seen yet. It's just really fun, just searching over. And I did like this one long mission where like this guy is trying to build a town, and so like you keep going, you go to him and he's like, well, can you bring me 50 things of wood, or like it starts with like 10 things of wood, so you go get him the 10 things of wood, and then he's like, oh well, we need a merchant, you got to go all the way like across the map and find like a merchant and all this stuff, and like it's like a 2-hour long like side quest, but like it was worth it.
What'd you get out of it?
Like I think he gave me like 3 diamonds or something.
Oh, that's a bet.
Which, I mean, like, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's
diamonds are forever, bro.
Yeah, and it's the journey. Like, it was so fun just doing all of it. It was very like cathartic. And then also getting the diamonds, I had enough money to like go then to like the Rito village, which is like the bird people, like from Wind Waker. And so like you end up going there, which is so beautiful, dude. Anyway, so I'm there and like bought all the stuff I needed to like climb the mountains where it's too cold and all this stuff. And like, it just felt cool to slowly put the pieces together and figure out where I needed to go. And like, and the game is it's so open, like that I didn't even realize, like, so like I have all of my stuff completely like updated, like my stasis and like my magnesis and all that stuff, like as strong as they can get. And so like there's like this one mission where a guy like drops something, like you need this thing to get to the shrine. It's like a shrine quest or whatever, which is really cool because like there's some shrines that are just out in the open and you just go to them, but some like NPCs will be like, I heard there was a secret place, over here and whatever, like if you look in this painting, and so like you go out and you got to find the shrine, or you got to do some things to get the shrine to appear. And so like this guy had dropped this trident that you need. And this one I had to look up how to do it because I just didn't think the game would be that like open to you like solving this. Like I thought it was going to be something very linear. And he's like standing on this bridge above water, like way up. And he's like, "Oh, I dropped the trident that you needed over the bridge." And so I was like, I swam down there, and you can only swim for as long as your stamina lasts. I'm like, where the hell is this thing? Yeah. And then I like Googled it, and it was like, you have to drop down, get on the land, then you have to like use your little ice thing where like you can make ice towers come up out of the water and go across to under the bridge where he was standing. Then use your magnesis in the water to pull the trident out of the water. Then like take it back to the land. And then
I thought you were gonna say freeze the trident and like have it float up to the top or something.
No, that would be easier. Like you can use the ice thing and it'll lift it up out of the water, but in this one you had to use magnesis, and you pull it out, and then once you get it, then you have to take it to this waterfall where like if you use your like Zora, there's like this little orange platform coming up out of the little pool at the bottom of the waterfall, which looks like the front of the shrine, but it's not there. And so what you have to do is use the Zora suit, which lets you like swim up waterfalls and throws you high up in the air. Yeah. And then you come down and you have to like basically do the attack button and like just slam your trident down from the top of the waterfall onto that thing, and then it opens the waterfall and like a shrine comes out. I'm like, how was I supposed to know all this?
That's so detailed.
Yeah, it's super deep, and it's just really fun like going through the game and finding all these mysteries and like it just solving it in this open world where it's so open that like it makes you think outside the box. So after that, like anytime I got a shrine thing, I was trying every little thing. I was like, okay, well now I know that it could be under the water. Like I was thinking maybe it would be like washed up on the land or something like that. It's like, now I need to look at every little detail. But anyways, that's what I've been playing. I've been really deep into it.
Oh, that's so fun.
But yeah, dude, you need to get back into that because we gotta swap stories and stuff.
Dude, yeah, for sure.
But anyways, so that's what we've been playing. We're going to jump on over to the topic of the show. Today's topic of the show is our dream launch lineup for the next generation of consoles. Ooh. Now, before we jump into our dream launch lineups, I'm going to go ahead and mention the confirmed next gen titles for all the consoles. So for Xbox Series X, we have confirmed Halo Infinite and Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga. Now for Series X and PS5, we have Outriders. That's like the first like third-party game by Square Enix. It's a co-op third-person shooter with guns and magic and stuff.
Interesting.
And Lord of the Rings Golem.
That's going to be a PS5 game just straight up the gate?
Yeah, that's PS5 and Xbox Series X coming 2021.
Cool.
Then for PS5, we have Godfall, which is a looter shooter with swords, basically. And then some other it's going to be for both platforms are the Ubisoft games, which were delayed and will be cross-platform. So we'll have Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Gods and Monsters, and then 2 unannounced titles. As well
for Rainbow Six Quarantine, that's going to be tight.
Oh yeah, dude. As well as EA, they promised Battlefield 6 and Sims 5 will both be next gen. So those are the confirmed next gen titles. What we're gonna do is just do our dream launch lineup. So some of these might not even be real.
No, probably not real. All of them on my end. So.
Really? None of them are real?
Well, I'm sure that they will be at some point, like the majority of them, but like probably unrealistic to expect them as a launch title for the next gen. But
I don't know why. I tried to get all strategic with mine and make it like realistic on how I would want it to come out, not because of how I would not the games that I want, but the way that I want like each console to be successful. So like I like that because I guess ours will be different.
I feel like there's a little bit of thought behind mine, but like if they were to launch it like this, it would be like my ideal games, so it would be kind of tailored towards my tastes, you know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure. So let's hear your Xbox Series X dream lineup.
All right, you want me to just run through all of them, or do you want me to just go one?
Just run. Well, I mean, like you don't have to say it all like super fast. Like say one and then say why, and then like
Okay, so my first one for Xbox Series X would be Ninja Gaiden 4.
That's a good one.
I feel like with all the craze between like about the Dark Souls stuff and like Sekiro, and it just makes sense to have like an ultra hard game that you kind of have the property for already. You know what I mean?
So, some of that team that worked on Ninja Gaiden Black made Neo.
Really?
Yeah, they're working on Neo.
Interesting. I know that isn't Ninja Theory the people who made Ninja Gaiden, or is it?
It's not Ninja Theory.
Team
Ninja. Yeah. So,
but they're associated with Microsoft a lot. Like they do a lot of like they did all the Dead or Alive, or a lot of the Dead or Alive games, like past Dead or Alive 3, or really just Dead or Alive 3.
Just Dead or Alive 3.
Dead or Alive 3.
Yeah.
But still, like they've worked with Xbox before, so it's not like out of the question.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not out. And Ninja Gaiden was an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. No, I like that idea, and I think it would be a perfect time to bring back Ninja Gaiden.
Totally. I think this would be like the perfect like gaming climate for it. Everybody likes those hard games now.
Yeah, and it would stand out from those from Dark Souls and stuff because it's not Dark Souls and it's not Sekiro. What it is like it
predates all that. I mean, that's the best part.
It predates it, but it's also a very different type of game. It's more like a hack and slash that is just like super like difficulty focused and a lot of like different maneuvers and stuff that you can do. You kind of just have to memorize like all these different combo attacks and ways that you can do things.
True.
And if you stop, you die.
Yeah. I don't know, but at the same time, there's a lot of the same like feelies that go into it. You know what I mean? Like whenever you beat a boss in Ninja Gaiden Black, you know what I mean, versus when you beat a boss in Dark Souls, it feels very similar.
Yeah,
you know
true.
what I mean? Like, I definitely see what you're saying though. And okay, so my next one would be Dead Rising 5.
Yeah,
okay?
So that's definitely geared towards you. I don't think it's a good idea to bring that as a launch lineup, but not a launch lineup, but a launch title. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I just feel like they've done it with other Xbox consoles. So again, it's something that's
a possibility.
It's semi-realistic, except for the fact that the studio that makes the Dead Rising games, I think, closed down last year or something.
Yeah, it wasn't doing too hot after 4.
But either way, 4 was a good game, dude. People hate on 4, but 4 was not a bad game. It was just as good as all the other Dead Rising games.
Yeah.
But Dead Rising 5 would be sick to me. That's just me personally. Then I think it would be fun to have some kind of, since they bought the Psychonaut studio, I would love to have some kind of wacky new Tim Schafer IP, like Brutal Legend or something. You know what I mean? But like new, like a different. Because I just feel like he brings that flavor. Like all of his games have that same kind of. He's like the Tim Burton,
the good Tim Burton.
Yeah, the good Tim Burton. So I'd love to have some kind of Tim Schafer game. I think a Splinter Cell reboot would be really good.
Very good idea.
Like really good for like a launch title. Imagine like E3 this year. God, if they had E3 this year.
Yeah.
Imagine like the fucking trailer, like the fucking lights come on. It's like, pew! Dude, it's gonna be tight. That's one that I think might be realistic. You know what I mean? Fable 4, of course.
But see, Splinter Cell's not really a Xbox exclusive anymore. I don't think it only
it was
first
when it
one
launched.
was.
Yeah, the first 3 were.
No, the first
Pandora
one.
Tomorrow was, wasn't it?
It was on PlayStation 2. Yeah, and Chaos Theory was even on GameCube.
I guess you're right.
And Pandora Tomorrow was on GameCube. So it hasn't been an Xbox exclusive since the first game.
Still, I feel like, people associate it with
it's an Ubisoft game.
Xbox, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you think about the original Xbox, that's one of those games that comes to mind.
Tom Clancy. Yeah, that's true.
And of course, Fable 4 would be my last one.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine. Okay, so this is the way that I looked at mine. I feel like the perfect lineup. You have to have a shooter, a first-person shooter.
Definitely.
So
without question,
Halo Infinite for my Series X, and either way, that's coming, but it's still part of my dream lineup.
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2, this is where it gets different, with Psychonauts Remastered included.
Oh, okay.
So I want them to include the first game for the people who didn't play it, because I feel like it's a game that not many people actually did play. It's a
really good game too. Like the core mechanics of the game would totally hold up today with a new coat of paint over them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got a cult following, but I want it to be worldwide. Like, oh shit, this is good. So I think that needs to happen. That's like their platformer.
I like that.
So you got the shooter, you got the platformer. I want Fable 4 as the RPG.
Gotta have Fable 4.
Gotta have Fable 4.
I think we can both agree Fable 4 would be like a bomb drop if they announced it.
Yes, and the team that was working on Forza Horizon is the team that's supposedly working on Fable. So we gotta have some car game. So, and I guess it's gonna be Forza. If it's gonna be Forza though, it's gotta be Horizon. So it's gotta be Forza Horizon 5. And I want them to come big, dude. Like ray tracing, like. Fucking,
if you got a Forza game, you gotta do the ray tracing in this next generation.
Can you imagine what that's gonna look like, dude?
I think almost all of the Xbox exclusives are gonna support ray tracing in some fashion. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a big part of the next gen feel.
Hopefully.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, and so
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I did some ray tracing experiments with Shadow of the Tomb Raider this weekend on my computer, and it was like fucking really beautiful, dude. Like it was so cool.
Just that like next level.
There's a part at the beginning of the game where she's like digging her way out of this like tunnel, and then like the light breaks through the fucking like top of the tunnel and like comes onto her face and shit, and like it's just like holy shit. Or like there's a part at the beginning where you're like walking through the town and like everybody's got like lanterns and like it's just misty out and like I don't know, it just looks so good. Like
good. But yeah, so mine sounds basic, but there's a method to the madness. This is actually my dream lineup. Like this is like it would be perfect. I hope they do this. Like along with Senua's Sacrifice, obviously that's going to be there, but our Saga or whatever. But I want something else, like a new IP that we haven't heard of. Something that will just like take everybody by by surprise. Something that's like, oh shit, here's one of these 15 teams that they bought up. Here's one of their games, and it's something that's just mind-blowing. You know what I'm saying? Like to get people to be like, wow, PlayStation's not the only one putting out good exclusives. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah. I think that's going to be one of the main focuses of like Xbox in the coming year or two,
Yeah.
Just pumping out good IPs.
I just hope it's not like 2 years in again. I hope it's like the launch lineup. We need at least one of these studios to have a game ready to go.
Yeah, I think that's why they tried to get a jump on it. I mean, like a year or two ago. I feel like they've been putting their cards in the right place, like expecting all this.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it pays off.
What you got for PS5?
PS5 is a little different for me. So okay, first things first with PS5. I want Blood and Truth 2, okay? London Studios did such a good job with Blood and Truth. It's one of the better VR games I've ever played. It's amazing they made it look as good as they did with the PlayStation's like hardware. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's like one of the best looking VR games I've ever played. It's so smooth and steady and like.
Are you going to go back to PlayStation VR once? I mean, now that you've got your PC and it's like, are you going to be able to go back?
Well, I still have the PlayStation VR, so if I know it'll be compatible with PS5. So in some capacity, I mean, like if they put out a good enough exclusive game, I'll definitely play.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, Resident Evil still holds up. I mean, I've had a taste of the good shit. You know what I mean? And Resident Evil is still maybe the best VR game I've ever played. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
It's so fucking good. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I do think PlayStation 5 is going to be just like next level. Like it's got the kind of power to play games like Boneworks and stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We'll have to see. I think that it's really because PlayStation 5 is doing. I mean, they did a great job. Like they've sold more VR headsets. I mean, until recently with the Quest and stuff. But like up until that, like they were like the leading VR, person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were the cheapest entry.
Entry, but also they had the biggest library. I mean, they still arguably have the best library in VR. You know what I mean? If you go through all the like PlayStation games, there's like more quality games on PlayStation than like if you were to go in Steam. Like Steam has a shitload of VR games, but there's also a lot of bullshit like in the Steam, archives or whatever. PlayStation has a lot of good stuff. Until Dawn 2. Okay. This one I think would be really cool, especially if it had some kind of VR support, to really put you in the world. But I just love Until Dawn 1, and I would love a sequel. Spider-Man 2. I feel like it might be a little too soon after Spider-Man 1 to realistically expect to get a Spider-Man 2. But I think it would be really cool. God of War 2, like a sequel to the 2018 God of War. Again, probably a little too soon to expect that, but I really want it really bad.
Yeah, no, I think that's not too soon, honestly. I think you're right on that.
I would love that. I would buy that, like, day one. Like, honestly, that is the shit that would entice me to purchase a PS5. Like, God of War 2018 is probably the best game I've ever played. It's so fucking good. And, of course, Persona 6. I think that's one that we can expect at some point. You know what I mean? Like, they're already putting out the remastered version of the 5. You know what I mean? I just think 6 has got to be coming at some point,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
5 did too good to just not do 6 at some point soon,
Yeah. No, I think that those are all really good. My PS5 dream lineup is going to be the Resistance reboot.
Ooh, yeah.
I think that's very important that they have a shooter. I feel like that's one thing that PlayStation is lacking. PlayStation has all these great third-person action games, but they don't have any shooters.
Like first-person shooters.
Yeah. There's none of that. None of it at all, unless you count Call of Duty, but that's multi-platform.
I do think that's why PlayStation has been sinking its money into the Call of Duty exclusivity, because they realize there's like a gap in their first-person shooter,
For sure. And then something off the wall that they do, like either Ratchet and Clank or a Twisted Metal type game, and I was thinking maybe like a, how Nintendo has like, Mario Kart or whatever, like they need to do something like that with all of their like first party characters.
I would fuck with that, like PlayStation Kart, like
something like that. Like, I mean, they did PS All Stars or whatever.
I actually really like that game, and I think a lot of people's problem with that game is that it just didn't play like Smash Bros, and they wanted a Smash Bros game, But it was really fun for what it was. You could play it all the different characters and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like they didn't put enough good characters in it either.
True.
Like at
but it was so
point,
tight
though,
throwing down as like Kratos and like the Big Daddy from like BioShock.
Yeah,
that was so cool, dude. Like,
I feel like at this point though, there's so many new PlayStation first party characters that they could do it right this time.
Dude, yeah, they should just redo that the right way. Like that would be so cool.
So that's one of mine, and then Bloodborne 2.
Oh, Bloodborne 2. That's got to happen at some point.
So that's my PS5 dream lineup. That one's a little bit more fantasy, just because I'm new to the PlayStation, exclusives.
I think Bloodborne 2 is pretty realistic. That's something that I could see happening.
not Resistance or PlayStation All-Stars 2 or anything, but and then now this little one that I just threw in, like this little extra thing here called Switch Fight to Survive lineup.
I like it. What do you got?
So obviously Breath of the Wild 2 needs to drop around the same time. I mean, we've already seen that it's coming, but they didn't say when. It needs to be right when these new consoles launch. Otherwise, they're going to be out of people's minds.
Definitely.
They won't have much mind share. And I'm thinking Super Mario 64 remake.
Ooh, that'd be hot.
Yeah, just like a beautiful like remake of the
with
game. With
new worlds and shit. Like add 100 new stars or some shit. Like
oh my
new
God.
Paintings. A
Just
new
like,
wing of the castle, dude.
With the original like creators doing all of it, so it's like a throwback. And then some Mario Party DLC. We need to have like Mario Party DLC. I think there's so many people that bought Mario Party, but there's just no like support for it.
Dude, yeah, Mario Party needs DLC bad.
Very badly. And I think if they did add support to it, that people would buy it. Like I don't care if you made me or charged us $10 for like some new boards or whatever. Like I'll pay for it. Just give me new shit.
Oh, I'd pay for it for sure. Map pack. That's what they need.
Yeah, or board pack.
Board pack.
Board pack. And then a new first party IP. Something like how they did with ARMS. Like I thought ARMS was cool, but it didn't land.
Yeah.
So we need
good idea.
Good idea, just not. I don't think that's what we needed at the time.
No,
we need something like ARMS though, like or Splatoon. Just drop something new that nobody could ever think of but Nintendo. And let it be.
Let me add one onto that list.
Do it.
You know how the other ones need a first-person shooter?
Yes.
Nintendo needs to go ahead and come heavy with that Metroid Prime, dude. You know what I'm saying?
At least go ahead and drop the trilogy, like remastered trilogy.
Oh boy, the Metroid Prime remastered trilogy, that would be fucking lit, dude. I would play that.
Yeah, because it's like, people have been asking for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why not? It's just so smart.
It wouldn't be that hard to do, put a fresh coat of paint on the fucking, the Metroid Prime games aren't that detailed. I mean, they're like, they're great for their time, but they're not that crazy now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, that's it for the what's it called? The topic of the show.
What's that thing we do? Sorry,
guys. I'm like trying to figure out what the questions were. I was just checking the Instagram. But anyways, so we're going to jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, it looks like it's just over there for you to figure it out. So,
we got nothing over there. That's okay.
Nothing.
That's
nothing.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Hold on. We got some good stuff. Here. All right, here we go. This is it. This is the one. Austin Collins, he says to us, who would you video game... Okay, I think he messed it up a little. Who would your video game Avengers be to take on Thanos? Limit to 5, and no, you can't use the normal Avengers. I wouldn't use them anyway, because my team probably would have got it done in the first movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hold on. So say that again.
Pick 5 video game characters to take on Thanos.
Oh, okay. Who would you... Okay, who...
First of all, Kratos has to be in the fucking mix because he's used to killing gods, He knows what it takes to kill somebody with, omnipotent powers. You know what I mean? So Kratos all the way, first of all. I think... that leaves me with 4 spots.
Video game characters. We need Sonic the Hedgehog in there because he can go Super Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Like Super Saiyan. He's got powers. That's... Yeah,
but what's he going to do? I mean, what's he going to really do?
He's going to go fast.
No, dude. No, you're gonna have to do a lot more than go fast.
He doesn't just. Have you never seen Super Saiyan Sonic, bro?
Super Saiyan Sonic? Yeah, I guess I have.
He goes like full Super Saiyan, and he just gets super powerful.
He goes so fast, bro.
No. He like even in Super Smash Bros. He does the Super Saiyan Sonic thing.
That is pretty cool.
It's like having Goku, but as a hedgehog.
I think Mewtwo would be on my team.
Mewtwo, definitely. And he does count as a video game character.
Totally.
Yeah, so we got Mewtwo, Sonic, well, Super Saiyan Sonic. And then, who was the first one again? I'm sorry, I'm losing track here. Kratos, yeah, because he can
Super Saiyan
destroy
Sonic.
Gods.
What? I think Super Saiyan Sonic would be the most useful for like flying up really fast and trying to snatch the glove off of his hand. You know what I mean? Like just blast past him and like rip the fucking Infinity Stones out of his shit. You know?
Yeah, and Leisure Suit Larry. No, I'm just kidding. We just have him there.
Gotta have Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah. Mr. Mosquito. No, I'm just kidding. All these horrible characters.
Bubsy.
Blinks the Time Cat actually might be quite helpful in this situation.
Blinks 150% we're putting Blinks the Time Cat.
Yeah.
He's like the most useful person you could possibly have in this situation because like Thanos' big advantage is like he can manipulate like his like fucking world around him. But if you just like pause time,
take his glove,
snatch that shit off, dude. Blinks the Time Cat.
Blinks the Time Cat.
So we've got a crack team right now, dude.
They're all mainly animals, like little fuzzy animals. No.
They fuck you up though.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we need a fifth one. We need somebody who's like really intimidating and strong to like in case there's like we need some muscle. Somebody who can deal with like big groups at a time. The Dynasty Warriors guy. You need the one fucking soldier from Dynasty Warriors that can take on like 1,500 fucking minions at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to take on.
You don't need him to
Thanos.
take on.
He's going to take on the minions.
I was about to say you don't need him to take on Thanos. You just need him to beat back the fucking like armies of Thanos while everybody else is because we got Thanos covered. We got Blinks the Time Cat. We got Sonic. We got Kratos, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
I think we just made a good team.
I think so too.
Wait, that's only 4 people though.
No, that's 5 because we got Kratos. We got Super Saiyan Sonic.
Blinks the Time Cat.
We skipped one. Hang on, there was one between Blinks the Time Cat and Sonic.
Was there?
Yeah, we had Super Saiyan Sonic, and then
no, there wasn't anybody else.
Yeah, there was.
Oh, Mewtwo.
Mewtwo,
You're right. Okay.
Mewtwo. Yeah. Oh fuck, dude. You throw Mewtwo
yeah.
in
Once
there.
you got Mewtwo in there,
God dang, dude. Kratos would be fucked, dude.
Yeah, use Blinks' time stoppage plus Mewtwo's like holding him in that little stasis. Yeah, so it's like,
and then Sonic would just run in there really fast
and just beat the shit out of him like at lightning speed. And Kratos would just be like just slicing and dicing, bro. I think we're all good here,
dude.
Yeah, we got this figured out.
Not only are we all good, I feel like you could resolve the situation peacefully with these guys. Like you could stop Thanos and like lock him in a fucking vault or something and not even kill him. You know what I mean? Like
definitely. Or we could just kill him.
Or you could just kill him. That would probably be the smart thing.
Let's do it right. Yeah. Good question.
All right. Cool. Hans had a good reply. He said, "This is easy. Pick up Kirby, suck Thanos in, boom, Kirby Thanos."
Can you imagine what that would look like with his like weird ass chin? Like he wouldn't be able to walk.
That would be fucking hilarious. He just got like a Thanos head. All right, good question, Austin. You're the people's champ. Way to go. We've got another non-people's champ question from Austin.
Oh yeah, these are the listener questions.
This one's also from Austin though. He says, "What's a movie that should have a video game that didn't that surprises you?" For me, it would be John Wick. If there was a John Wick game, they didn't advertise it.
There was a John Wick game, and it wasn't what you expected.
There's actually 2 John Wick games that I can think. But one of them's like a VR game, and it's like a 5-minute experience, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the other one is like an actual game, like a flat screen game, but it's like a strategy game.
Yeah, it's like Fire Emblem or something.
Yeah, some weird shit. But apparently it was good. Like a lot of people that played it said it was great.
But I'm with you. We need like a legit John Wick game, like a third-person action Max Payne style John Wick game.
Enter the Matrix,
Ooh.
Or like I think that would be tight. Like that type of that style of game, but for John Wick.
Yeah, but I think he's asking what a different movie we would be into.
Probably Air Bud.
Dude, that would be fucking hilarious.
I just want to play a game where you are a dog trying to play basketball.
Dude, that would be hot. That would be that hot shit, dude.
It'd be very physics based. And
Airbud should be like a DLC character for fucking like
2K.
2K. Dude, that would be so sick, bro.
No, what's a good movie? That would be a great game.
Something with a lot of action in it. you know?
It doesn't even have to be action. It could be a game like Knives Out. You know, like it could be just like a whodunit.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that
Clue.
idea.
You know?
I think maybe like...
Or Alien, but good.
Man, that's a tough one. Die Hard would be cool. Die Hard.
That was a game though.
They did it?
Yeah, on GameCube.
Oh.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I liked it.
Okay. Maybe like what if it's a Die Hard like spin-off though, and it's like its own thing?
Die Soft. Yeah, no, I'm down with Die Hard. That's a good one. That like a more modern take on Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. All right. Thanks, Austin. We've got Cody Goolsby here. He says, thoughts on the Baldur's Gate series and Baldur's Gate 3?
I'm just not nerdy enough. You know, like I like as much as I want to be. This isn't even a hate on like nerdiness. Like I've talked about it before. I'm not a huge fan of like medieval stuff, and I know it's like heavily D&D influenced and all that stuff. I've never done any of that. I've never gotten into D&D. Maybe I should. You know, like
honestly, I don't even know what Baldur's Gate. I always just thought Baldur's Gate was like Diablo, but like a different. I have no fucking idea. I'm sorry, Cody. I wish I could be more helpful about Baldur's Gate, but I just... Well,
Baldur's Gate 3 is supposedly, like, big news to the Baldur's Gate fans. Like, it's supposed to be, like, the next level Baldur's Gate. You know what I'm saying? So, good for them.
Yeah.
You know, but that's my thing is, like, maybe Cody, you gotta introduce me to some good, you know, D&D stuff so I can understand where this comes from. We need to play some D&D. I feel like
we should do a D&D. I'm down.
Do a D&D.
Do a D&D.
I'm about to do a D&D, bro. I'm about to catch a fucking felony for this D&D.
Man, yeah, we're doing D&Ds. All right, we got Kyle McAvoy here. He says, rarest game you've ever owned, handled, or played?
Man, I mean, probably just like I'm trying to think of the rarest game I handled was like a game whenever I was working at Game Exchange that Kevin ended up buying, but it was like worth like $300 or $400 or some shit. But it was like an NES game. It was either NES or SNES. I can't remember. I wish I knew, but like the most or the rarest one that I owned was Conker's Bad Fur Day. You know, that was like at the time it was going for like $90. So that whenever I owned it. So.
See, okay, my thing, like I used to have one of those Game Boy Micros, and at the point when I had it, it was pretty rare. Like there weren't very many of them circulating.
They're super expensive now.
Yeah,
like they're like hundreds of dollars.
They're really cool. But yeah, I used to have one of those. That's probably the rarest thing I ever had.
Yeah, and going or like Kyle, you worked at Game Exchange whenever I worked there. So you saw some of the stuff that came through there. You know, like we handled a lot of rare stuff, like especially stuff like you don't even think about. You know, like we would go into the system and look, and like it'd be like, oh shit, this game is. We have to pay this dude like $100 for this game. It's pretty crazy.
Damn.
You know. Anyways, what else we got over there? Thanks, Kyle.
All right. Charles says, no question. Just wanted to express my excitement for Horizon Zero Dawn on PC.
Whoa, he's stirring the pot over there, dude. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for all the PC players that finally get to play it.
Yeah, me too. It's a good game. We got Philip Watson Dean here. He says, any thoughts on Mount and Blade Bannerlord?
Mountain Blade, dude. That's another medieval game like that. I just like. I feel like a lot of you guys love these medieval games, and I gotta get into. I gotta do it just for the people. You know, like I gotta start playing some of these. Like I just can't. The other day, and this is probably gonna piss Philip off because I know he's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. But like I was on, just when I was sick at home the other day. I was like looking on Netflix and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, they have all the Lord of the Rings movies," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then just, like,
honestly, I can't get into Lord of the Rings either, and I kind of like that kind of shit. Like I like fantasy and stuff, but just Lord of the Rings particularly never really grabbed me, and I know that's going to piss a lot of people off.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is the episode that we just piss off a lot of people.
We're starting the controversies, man. We're bringing the heat controversially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for the questions, guys.
That was a fun week of questions. We're gonna wrap up the show with Brent's. What do you call this segment again?
I call it the Super Hardcore Video Game Trivia Challenge. These are 5 questions made from pure adamantium steel and forged into the skeleton of a mutant.
Wow.
This week's
Who's
topic
the
is JRPG animals.
Good, I guess.
All right, number 1. In the game Persona 5, you befriend a talking cat. What is that cat's name?
What's the first letter?
M.
Is it Miriam?
It is Morgana.
Morgana. Okay, I've never played that game.
No,
that was just a guess.
It's okay. That's a good guess. Good guess.
I have a feeling I'm gonna do really bad today.
It's a difficult one.
I'm not a huge JRPG guy, so we'll see where this goes.
It's very real. Some of these are hard if you don't know your JRPGs.
What do we got?
Number 2. In Final Fantasy VII, you meet a dog that joins your party in Midgar. What is this dog's name?
Red. What's the number? It's like Red 13 or something.
Yeah, you got it. There you go.
There we go.
Good job. All right. Number 3. Sorry. What race inhabits Saturn Valley in the game Earthbound?
Wow. Why would I know this? What race? Is it like a jokey name?
Kind of.
What? Give me a hint. Give me a hint on this one, because I've never played Earthbound.
They're named after the place they live.
And where
they're in Smash Brothers as an item.
Oh, god dang it! And where do they live again?
Saturn?
Mr. Saturn.
Yeah,
Mr. Saturn. Go. Okay.
Sorry, I got a little too detailed with my clues there.
Yeah, but like I would have never even thought of any of that.
All right, you're 2 for 1. Good job. I mean, two out of 3.
Yeah,
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. 2 for 1.
2 for 1. All right, so number 4. In the game Ni no Kuni, what type of mythical creature is Mr. Drippy?
Mr. Drippy, I'm going to say, is a slime.
No.
I have no idea.
He's a fairy.
Okay.
All right, number 5. In Chrono Trigger, which playable character is an anthropomorphic frog?
Oh my god. What is his name? It's like Prince something, right?
It's a lot more simple than that.
What do you mean? Like there's no Prince? It's just Prince?
No, it's just basic.
Okay, basic. Okay, give me the first letter.
No, if I give it to you, it's gonna give it away.
I mean, I don't remember.
All right, it's F.
No, that's too simple. No, it's not Frog, is it?
It is Frog. He is called Frog in the game.
I would have never guessed that. So I mean, like, I'm not gonna take I'm not gonna take the W for this one. But I am going to say there's no way in hell I would have gotten any of this. Like, I've played Chrono Trigger all the way through, like, twice.
You know the frog I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, yes. Like, I remember him vividly. I can never remember character names in, like, JRPGs and stuff like that. Specifically, Final Fantasy games. Like,
oh, dude, Final Fantasy's the worst. Just because their names are all ridiculously.
Like, I can remember, like, Barrett and Cloud.
Yeah.
But the rest of the characters, like... I don't even remember the chick's name. And like,
I remember Tifa just because I always think of Queen Latifah, you know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah, you got to do the little like where like it's like you compare it or like you reference something to remember it. It's like whenever you're learning the alphabet as a child, No, anyways.
It's exactly like that.
Exactly that. Anyways, remember, guys, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to GameSpeak Podcast, to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is go to youtube.com/CreateForSanity. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle JamAL and Brent at Brent has one. And that's the number 1. And check out GameSpeak Podcast on Instagram. Until next time, listeners. Later.